I'm going to give you the 3 substances that will make you get more beautiful naturally. Even if you don't wear any makeup, get no Botox or fillers, you will experience beauty in a way that you never have before. Because let's be real, beauty is a woman's greatest asset. Without beauty, you will feel unworthy to step into the rooms that you know that you deserve to be in. You won't be able to be with that man that makes you feel like a woman or receive effortlessly. But let me ask you a question, because we all have this idea of beauty that is a little bit on the surface. So, can a poem be beautiful? Can a song be beautiful? Yes. So if these things that you cannot see, because you cannot really see a poem, you can't see a song, these things that you cannot see are beautiful, because beauty is not only about the physical. We need to expand our idea of beauty, and that's exactly what we're about to do today. So the first substance that is going to make you get more beautiful is safety. So when you think about safety, it is a feeling of security. Why safety connects with beauty is because there have been studies, right, where humans find find things beautiful that they are familiar with. So if we, for example, we grew up watching TV and seeing magazines and seeing this beauty standard, so we deem that more beautiful. If it had been something else that we had seen more often, that standard would actually be what's beautiful. So we see things often, our brain can recognize them, and then we see that as more beautiful. Another thing that makes us see something as beautiful, and also let me go back a little bit, that connects us with safety. Why? Because we are familiar with it. If you think about the brain loves familiarity, and anything that is unknown is scary. The brain does not want to go there. It is wired to protect us, and if it knows something, if it's familiar with us, then it feels safe. So that's why something we repeatedly see can make us feel safe and therefore be beautiful. Now, when we talk about something like art or even a sculpture, those things can be beautiful, even if they might be patterns or lines that we've never seen before, if they have a flow that is harmonious. If the flow is harmonious and we're able to see and really extract something from this piece of art and feel a sense of fluency within it, that can make us feel beautiful, or that can make us experience beauty, because we are seeing all these shapes and lines that flow and they look beautiful to us. They're harmonious. Now, if something is kind of not harmonious, if it looks that is not beautiful to us. But the reason why those shapes and lines can be beautiful is because they make us feel safe, right? That harmoniousness is safe. It connects. It makes sense. It flows. And that is safety for us, right? When you think about all the elements around us, the fire, the earth, the air, the water, all these things have a flow. All these things have cycles and they flow. There's no discourse there. And that brings us a sense of beauty. So how can you cultivate these feelings of safety within yourself? We're going to go through 3 ways. The first one is God. Your connection with the Most High is going to bring you the most amount of safety. Think about it like your connection with your parents. If you're not connected to your parents, you're not going to feel safe. Or think about like a child that might be an orphan. They likely will feel less safe than a child that has both parents in the home, because your parents provide for you, they care for you, they teach you, they show you the way. That is how God is for us, especially when we get to adulthood and we are figuring things out on our own. As it seems, God is going to be there to guide us along the way. He is showing us. He is our provider. Even through our parents, He is providing. So as we grow and we doing all these things on our own. We need to cultivate that safety by connecting with God more. And you can do this when you feel low. Like, I know a lot of people turn to God when they are at a low point. And a lot of people also think that that is weak. But that's actually pretty strong because, first of all, God is within us. So when you turn to God, you're actually looking within for the strength that God has given you. You are looking to the Most High, the Creator, to give you power. And that power is inside of us because that's where God is. Now, God is everywhere, but He's definitely inside of His children. So that is a very strong thing to do. So you want to cultivate that safety by connecting with God because it is going to give you a sense of security. It's going to ground you into your purpose, and honestly, it's going to ground you into wherever you are. God is our provider, and if we are connected with Him, then we know that we are always provided for. Everything we need is already in front of us. Therefore, we can feel safe. Another way that you can cultivate safety is by money. Money, of course. Money is the currency that helps us move around the world. Without money, we don't feel safe because it's like we need money to get food. We need money to have shelter. We need money to get water. We need money for clothes. All these things that actually, as humans, make us safe. They are protecting us. So when you change your relationship with money and have an abundance mindset, you will feel safer because you'll be able to have these things. That also starts with God and remembering that He is your provider. Therefore, He will give you a way to provide. And most of the time, if you are connected in alignment, you go through a journey, and that way that God is giving you to get money is going to be your purpose. It's going to be aligned with what He wants, and is going to be a way that you can serve others in the world. So when you think about money, you need to think about how can you be serving others in the world. And a lot of people have dreams. Most of us have dreams, and I think that those dreams, when in alignment with God, with our purpose, are the way that we are going to make money, make the most amount of money. So you need to cultivate that within yourself. And the best time to do that is now. The best time is yesterday. Always be thinking about how you can serve others, what you're good at, and continually increasing the value that you can give. And we always hear people talking about value, but it's really simple in that you find the problems that you have solved, whether you've solved them for other people or you solve them for yourself, and then you create some type of way that you can share that with others, right? So we're talking about entrepreneurship here. I am personally a advocate for entrepreneurship, but also you don't have to be an entrepreneur to do this. Now, the reason I mention entrepreneurship is because a lot of the time when you are using your creativity and you're using the way that God has given you to serve people in the world, it leads to entrepreneurship because you are either working to build someone else's thing, their purpose, or you're working to build your purpose. And there are some ways in which you can do both. And I think many people just use jobs as a stepping stone on their way, even if it's just to get money to provide. And that makes total sense, right? You are placed in whatever circumstances that you have been placed in because they're going to help you get to the next level. God really plans all of these things out, okay, so that we don't have to think about it. But once you start to serve others, you will get more money and you will feel safe and you will feel more confident because you will continually get better at what you do, which means that you know for a fact that you can serve certain people. And you know for a fact that there are people out there who would listen to you because you've gained all these examples, you gain all this evidence, and that feels safe. And remember that safety is going to help us get more beautiful. It's going to raise our confidence levels, especially when it comes to money. Money makes you more confident because you feel safe. Confidence makes you feel beautiful. Okay? The last way that we are going to discuss as far as safety is community. Now, community is so important in how we maneuver in the world, okay? Community is everything. And community makes us feel safe because we have people around us who are looking out for us. They are putting us on to opportunities. Let me tell you something. All the jobs that I have gotten have been community based. They have been through someone in my community who, or someone that I've met face to face and I've gotten the job. I think I applied for one job, had an interview and got it. But other than that, it's people putting me on, and that's community. Your network is going to help you get opportunities. Just having community is a beautiful thing. They help amplify your purpose into the world. They help bring they make your purpose bigger because you are connecting with them, and two minds are greater than one. So you never know how someone is going to help you and how you can help them. And honestly, everyone's purpose is kind of the same, and it is to do God's work here. And so when you are in community and you're doing God's work, you are definitely amplifying your purpose. It is growing, it is getting bigger. And those are the ways that you can feel safe within. When you cultivate that safety within, you have set the foundation for yourself to feel beautiful, right? To feel beautiful. And other people can sense that as well. When you speak to someone and they are anxious, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't make us have an experience of beauty unless they feel safe inside of that anxiousness. Like, there are people out there who feel safe in their anxiousness and they know that they might be awkward, and it's beautiful. If you think about someone like Issa Rae, who made a whole show about being insecure and being anxious, we can find beauty in that show because it's relatable, right? It's something that we've seen, it's something we're familiar with, and there's acceptance there for that awkwardness and insecurity. Therefore, we can experience beauty there. Now, there's someone else who I watched an interview with, and I'm about to give you his name. Jesse Eisenberg, okay? Jesse Eisenberg. Look him up. He did an interview and he was talking about his kind of anxiety and awkwardness and stuff, and I found it so beautiful because it's something that many people can relate to on some level. And I loved it. The next substance is power. Power is the next substance that creates our equation for beauty. Beauty is power. Do you know what being a beautiful woman can do? Being a beautiful woman will take you places that you've never been before. Now remember, we talked about how a poem can be beautiful and music can be beautiful. And I think, honestly, when you cultivate a natural beauty, when you're glowing from the inside because you have done these things that we're discussing here, and you become a more beautiful person naturally without even having to touch your exterior changes. It just starts to shift to match what's going on inside of you. And beauty is power, and power is influence. So when you have power, you are able to influence people. If you think about all the media we consume, when there's a beautiful woman, how she's able to just have men do what she wants, have women do what she wants, strangers, admirers, everyone do what she wants. Let's think about, okay, this example is the first one that came to mind, but it is definitely an example of physical beauty. as well as power. So think about Regina George in Mean Girls. She was physically beautiful, but she had power. She had influence over people. And she might have gotten that power from her beauty, but do you see how they're connected, right? Like, she had everybody doing what she wanted to do when she was confident. And there was a specific scene where she had people, or they played a prank on her, and they had cut holes into her tank top where her boobs are, and she just was like, walked out, and everybody started doing it. Everybody started doing it. That is power. That is influence. And that is how you bring your beauty to the next level, right? You cultivate that safety within, and then you add power on top. This is how you get that power. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to communicate. Our communication is power because it is a way that we can connect with other people. In order to have influence over other people, and then in turn over things around you, is you need to be a great communicator. This means that you have to be certain about your values. You have to be certain about how you feel about things, certain about what's right and what's wrong for you. And you have to be able to have a strong voice to give this information in a way that makes sense. You have to have common sense. You have to be intelligent in order to give this information to other people in a way that they can digest. But also, a lot of communication is its voice, its words, and its body language. So the words that you speak, people will remember some of them, right? Because I'm speaking English, you understand English. Therefore, that's how you are translating this in your mind. That frequency is going into your ears and it's going to your brain, and you're processing that. But another thing that you are also processing is my voice. Now, if I was talking like this, and I was just being very quiet and kind of unsure of myself, and maybe looking down and just sounding a little meek, it's harder to be able to influence you that way, because I don't even look like I believe what I'm saying. It looks like I don't even believe in myself. Therefore, I won't have that power, that influence. So your voice needs to be strong, and you need to be able to express that. There is a lot of fear that comes with expressing your voice, especially as a woman. There are so many people who try to shut you up, and it's new for us to be able to speak like this and speak openly, speak freely about our opinions. And so you have to just get your reps in, start doing it, get louder, speak more with your diaphragm, and just garner that power within. God gave you this voice. Okay, in fact, the Hebrew word for beauty, the letters that make it up, one of the letters, I forget the name of it. Let me see right now. The letter is P-E-H, pe or fe. It quite literally means mouth. So in the word beauty in Hebrew, part of that, what makes that up, is mouth. So your mouth right here is where that beauty is, and I think that's where the power aspect of your beauty is. And the other component to that powerful voice is your body language. Our body language is communicating all the time. So if I'm continuing to speak to you in the same manner that I was, but I'm just moving a lot and fidgeting and stuff, I can start to sound like ungrounded. I can start to sound unstable. Even if my voice is as strong, it just seems like I'm a little bit not here. I'm not grounded. When you have a firm posture, when you're still, when you're direct, that is something that people are reading. They are looking at you to see if they can trust you, to see if they know what you're talking about, to see if you are someone that they should follow and listen to. That voice cultivation is going to be how you create power. Cultivate your voice. Practice cultivating your voice with strangers. If you're someone who's usually not a person who speaks up, it's easy to practice with strangers. Man, I went this summer to a coffee shop, and I'm not typically a talkative person where I strike up conversation and I'm just going to talk to you and yada yada yap yap yap. It depends. If I'm cool with you, then of course we can do that. But if I'm getting, say, a matcha, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, did you see this right now? Like talking to the barista. But this one day I decided to do that, and that actually opened me up to being that type of person. Now I am that type of person where if there's something that I'm genuinely interested in, I am able to communicate it with the person who I'm speaking with, the barista in this example, and we are able to form a connection, and I can have power in that situation. Let me actually give you another example of this. I went to a juicery and I ordered this it was a turmeric latte. So I'm ordering this turmeric latte, and I'm like basically asking this woman, the cashier, if it's with, I'm like, yeah, so that one's with the maple, right? And, or what did I say? I'm like, yeah, that one's made with the maple syrup, right? And she's like, no, well, if it is, I've been doing it wrong. But the way that I asked, I was so sure of myself because I actually thought that I was right. I thought I was right. So when I was communicating with her, the tone of my voice, that frequency was sure. And it made her confused about her job, which she's been doing. And I'm just a customer coming in to this store for the third time. She's been doing this for how long? That is the power of your voice. And with that power comes beauty. And this also connects with that safety aspect of familiarity, because when you have power, you actually get power by influencing people over and over and over again. So when people are influenced by you repeatedly, your power just goes up and up and up and up. And that familiarity, that safety, that power, that can make you more beautiful to other people. Cultivating this within yourself is also going to make you more beautiful to yourself. A lot of this has connections with confidence, which is no coincidence, because confidence is that safety, that trust of self, and beauty is confidence. Our last substance today, so that you can get beautiful naturally and increase your beauty, is a positive, strong emotion. So let me explain. When you have power, safety, and a strong positive emotion, that is beauty. Those three substances create an experience of beauty. And here is why. A strong positive emotion is the missing piece to our beauty equation. So beauty, the definition of beauty is going to be when something pleases your aesthetic senses. Our aesthetic senses have to do with perception. Okay, so if we think about what perception is, it is how we see things, how we experience things. So if we're experiencing something good, something is pleasing to us, it's a great feeling, right? It feels good. That's what beauty is, right? Beauty means pleasing to the senses, which means that it's pleasing us and that feels good. What feels good are strong, positive emotions. If you want to get super clear on what strong, positive emotions are, you can look at the consciousness chart where you can see the frequency of different emotions. Up there is enlightenment, joy, peace, and I know authenticity is up there as well. Those strong positive emotions mixed with safety and power, boom. That is beauty right there. Because beauty is basically God expressing himself. There needs to be, if we're making an equation that has anything to do with God, right? God is infinite. Therefore, there has to be this infinite aspect. And for me in this equation, it's going to be that strong positive emotion. Those strong positive emotions can be a range of things, right? I could potentially feel a strong positive emotion while angry. So I talked about the map of consciousness, those feelings. And I know anger is going to be low on that. But if that anger for me feels passionate, right? It feels passionate. I feel powerful and I feel safe. For instance, if I'm acting in a play and I have to act angry and there's passion coming out of me and I feel powerful and I feel safe because I've practiced so many times, I can feel extremely beautiful in this moment, even though I'm expressing anger. So when you think about a strong positive emotion, it just needs to be the positivity comes from you not feeling bad. If you feel bad in it, like if you were angry and you felt bad in that, that is not going to make you feel beautiful. That's going to make you feel ugly. Therefore, you need to look at the other side of the coin in any emotion that you experience to find the positive aspect, and that's how you can maintain beauty. I just gave you a cheat code. That's how you can maintain feeling beautiful. Even in times where, like right now, the sun's going down early over here in the United States, I can feel the blues, right? So angry or mad or sad. But what keeps me feeling beautiful, what keeps me feeling safe and powerful and this strong positive emotion is looking at the silver lining of whatever it is that I'm experiencing. So sometimes for me, it's simply the fact that I'm alive and can feel negative emotions that helps me feel a little sad and make it a positive thing because I can feel right now. Thank God I can feel. There are times in my life where I wasn't even able to feel sad because I was so numb and I was so nonchalant and I was so not expressive and in tune with my emotions that I couldn't feel sadness. I had blocked myself off from feeling that. So now these days, if I do feel sadness, I'm like, yes, I can cry. Thank God I can cry. Because you know what? That means I'm still alive. That means I'm still here on this earth. And that means that I've made it to a point in my life where I'm open to receive, because there's been a point where I wasn't open to receive that emotion. If I can receive this negative emotion, then I can receive the high vibrational emotions. But guess what? I'm going to make this negative emotion high vibrational anyways, because I'm turning it into gratitude, because I'm turning it into joy that I'm alive. That is the cheat code, y'all. That is how you're going to cultivate beauty within yourself. I told you were going to look at beauty in a way that you never have before. And that power that comes with that flip, where you can make something beautiful that's not, it's almost in a way, I want to use the word narcissistic, because in people who I've interacted with who have some say narcissistic, the sun's making this look crazy, I'm gonna go like this. I'm kidding. Who have some narcissistic qualities, right? Even though I didn't like them, I could still appreciate the beauty of how they stayed kind of up here in just their level of self-importance, of like, even if I'm so sad right now, I'm gonna make this the biggest display of sadness. I'm gonna turn it into something beautiful, because they were so full of themselves. So that, in a way, that hedonistic, narcissistic type of thing, there's an aspect to that that is beautiful. And you don't want to go all the way into that, obviously. You want to stay grounded, you want to stay humble. But if you can taste that and use that taste of basically making everything feel grandiose, feel really good, you can stay up here with your beauty. You can feel amazing as a woman. You can feel like, oh, I'm going through the trenches right now, but I am that girl and I feel beautiful. People can see this. People can see this. There have been people who glow up, right? Maybe they're not the most attractive person. Maybe they're not the most attractive person. But guess what? They glow up and they actually start to look better physically. They still look the same, they still might not be the most attractive, but they start to look more attractive because guess what? They cultivated safety within themselves and that power, and they're able to display and experience those strong positive emotions consistently, which makes people feel safe, which makes that person feel confident, and people see confidence, they sense it, they trust it. All of this goes together, and I hope you are piecing the pieces together. I hope that I did that well, and if you have any suggestions on how I can piece it together better for you, let me know and we can discuss that, and I will incorporate it into future videos. I love making videos like this where I'm breaking down the definitions, the meanings of things, and looking at it beyond the scope of what we usually do as a society, because a lot of the time when we say something is beautiful, right, it has that aspect of safety, that aspect of power, and the aspect of the strong positive emotion is typically one that has to do with physical beauty. So it's like safety, power, really pretty. And when we see this, we think, oh, that's a beautiful woman because she makes us feel safe and she is, powerful and she's pretty at the same time. She's cute or sexy or something like that. And when we are able to get that strong positive emotion to a place where it's beyond the physical, that is when we can experience beauty all the time. We can experience, if we want to. You don't have to experience beauty all the time, but I think beauty is almost it's a thing where, why wouldn't you want to experience beauty all the time? Why wouldn't you want to feel that way all the time? Right? Because it's almost neutral, but it's still high vibe. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this, any ideas of how you can experience beauty in a new way, how you've experienced beauty this way. And I pray that you start to feel more beautiful, that you will start to see yourself get more physically beautiful from cultivating this natural beauty within. And I feel myself this way. I feel like the more I cultivate these things within me, these strong positive emotions, these feelings of power and safety, just really knowing myself, I feel more and more beautiful. And I know actually that is making me more beautiful physically. And no, I don't wear any makeup. I don't get my nails done. I do my own hair and everything, but I'm still beautiful. I'm bad, okay? And I know that, and I feel that. And other people feel that as well. And I know that because they tell me. They stop me. They tell me. They ask me questions. And it's because I've cultivated this within first. That is how you get more beautiful naturally. Stay golden.